Today, there are millions of people living in Canada on temporary visas, comprising an astonishing 7% of the country's population, a situation never before seen in Canadian history. There are another estimated 500,000 undocumented persons living in Canada too, as well as 300,000 people in the asylum queue, many of whom will have bogus claims. Many of the millions of temporary residents are set to have their visas expire or have already expired. In this context, colleagues, it's not much of a stretch to foresee that Canada's practice of having no restrictions on solely citizenship acquisition is likely to be abused by people seeking to stay in the country after their visa expires or after a bogus asylum claim is found to be invalid. This is because while having a child on Canadian soil theoretically grants no immediate stay rights to parents who are temporary residents, in practice, court rulings, a deeply broken asylum system, protracted appeals, and sluggish deportations functionally allow them to remain. Recent videos, especially one circulating over this weekend on social media advertising this loophole, suggest this may be the case. The number of people born in Canada to temporary or undocumented residents is not publicly tracked, but recent policies by Canadian hospitals charging temporary residents for giving birth suggest it is a problem. And birth tourism, the practice of non-residents, for example, those on visitor visas, traveling to Canada to have their child on Canadian soil so that they can obtain citizenship, is also on the rise. When former Prime Minister Stephen Harper left office in 2015, birth tourism levels were 590% lower than they are today. Birth tourism is now at its highest levels ever, both in terms of absolute levels and percentages. These types of population growth are not accounted for in immigration levels. In this context, Canada is an outlier by granting unconditional birthright citizenship and should move into alignment with peer nations like the UK and Germany, which are also experiencing unprecedented immigration crises. And what I have in front of you today, colleagues, is to restrict birthright citizenship to permanent residents, at least one person being a permanent resident, one parent being a permanent resident or a citizen. This would align Canada within other peer nations and would somehow, I don't support Bill C-3, but it could restore the value of Canadian citizenship that has been eroded over the last 10 years.